I like doing my own oil changes, and it's not because of cost. In fact, a lot of these quickie lube places, if you look at the overall cost of the oil, the filter, and dispensing of the old oil, it's probably cheaper to have them do it themselves. But there are two reasons why I like doing my own oil changes. Number one, I know it's going to get done right. And number two, it gives me a chance to get inside the engine compartment and look it over and check things like other oil leaks that may be occurring, or something has happened on the engine between now and the last time I did an oil change. That's why I like doing oil changes. But I don't like the mess. So I just really love using these vacuum oil extractors to get the oil out of the engine. That means you don't have to get under the car. You don't have to pull the plug. You don't have to pull that under belly pan to get that oil out of the engine. And then you're much less likely to spill oil on the ground when you use an oil extractor. Well, this is the oil extractor I've been using for years. Probably been using this for close to 15 years. And I don't like it. You want to know why? It's too tall. And it's hard to get, by the car and start pumping, and invariably you knock it over because it's kind of tippy. So just recently I decided I wanted to go out and find a really good oil extractor that was smaller, more compact, easier to deal with, and I've come up with these two right here. It had to be under $50 and it had to be small. So in this video I want to just take these two, we're going to put these two to the test. We're going to call this the oil extractor shootout. We'll take these two and we'll test them against each other to see which one is the best. But before we do that, I want to show you some of the individual features of each one of these vacuum oil extractor pumps. Let me begin by talking about the similarities. First off, these are both very stable. Look at this. It's almost impossible to knock these over. They're small enough that you can also set them up in the engine compartment. You don't have to leave them on the ground out in front of the car. The other thing is they both use vacuum. They both use vacuum pumps to create a vacuum inside the tank, which will suck the oil or any other fluid you want to extract out and into either one of these tanks. What's neat about these is you can use these for lawnmowers, you can use them for small gas mowers, riding mowers, use them for they're really good for boats, and of course they work great on cars too. Now the thing that's a little bit different between the two is this one holds 6 liters and this one holds 7 liters. Now 6 liters could be not quite enough when you're looking at some of the larger engines, some of the diesels that run 7.5 quarts. That's why I went ahead and got this one that will hold 7 liters, because if I'm doing a diesel engine, I can probably do it in one step. But if it's convenient to get the hose off and pour the oil out, I'm not all that concerned that I may have to do it in 2 phases. I'm more concerned about the speed and how well it sucks the oil out. So what we're going to do next here is we're going to take a cold, I'm going to repeat, cold diesel engine. I've not run this, and we're going to see how fast each one of these pumps can suck 1 liter of oil out of this engine. There is one thing that I should note here, is that the difference in these vacuum pumps are significant. I particularly like this one because it's a much larger pump, it's got a longer stroke, and it's got a much more robust handle. This one here comes off like this, and it's a much smaller stroke, and I would say not quite as robust. But as they say, the proof is in the pudding, so let's see how these extractors actually perform. Okay, keep in mind that we're live here. I have not even tried this. Trying to suck cold oil out of a diesel engine is a challenge for any extractor. So we're going to find out first if it will even do it, and then if it does do it, we're going to time how long it takes to get 1 liter of old oil out of there. Both of these have marks. This one is marked at 1 liter here, and then that jumps to 3, 5, and 7 liters on the side marks here. I've removed the dipstick. I will take the tube and insert it all the way down till it hits the bottom of the oil pan, and then I'm just going to pull it up, a 1/16 of an inch. And we will start pumping now. we will time it if we can get it out of the engine. Well, here it comes. You know, this could take a really, if you can see it coming now, this could take a really long time to get a liter of fluid out of the engine. Once you build vacuum, you can stop pumping. You know what I think? I think this is going to take too long, that we're going to have to do the test with the engine oil hot, which is what you would want to do anyway if you were doing a real oil change. So this gives you an idea. We'll stop the test off here. We'll try the other one and see if it comes out any faster. But this is not working very well. Well, this is the fun part of doing these live tests. You never know what you're going to come up against. So we're going to try the second one here. It has a little bit more of a robust hose here and a much better pump. But, you know, once again, trying to extract cold diesel engine oil is tough for any pump. So here's the true test. Let's see what this one does. There it comes. Okay, I think you can see by the rate that this is moving up through the hose that this pump is pulling harder. And I believe that you could do the full oil extraction. Notice here that the hose is not collapsing. The tank is not showing any signs of collapse. I'm going to pump just a little bit more vacuum, see if that does anything. I can really feel the vacuum in this tank. All right, now you see it speeding up a little bit. So this is a good example of, hey, you want to warm your engine up first before you drain the oil. We'll cut this test short anyway because it's going to take quite a while to do a liter. But I think you can see from the two tests which one of these extractors may be the better unit. You know, instead of titling this the oil extractor shootout, I should have titled it, Why Not to Try to Extract Cold Engine Oil. But I think from that test, you can see already which one of these is the winner. I mean, I'm very unhappy with this unit. Number one, the tank is weak enough that it starts to collapse. You have a kind of a weak pump here, and then this, who in the world engineered this hose? You're creating a vacuum and you're expecting a weak floppy hose to maintain rigidity? Well, engineer on this one should have gone back to school. But on this one here, even though it doesn't hold as much oil, I am very happy with the performance of this. And there's a couple other cute little things that they put on this, which I didn't like about that real tall one because, you know, if you kicked it over, there was a cap there, but you could easily spill things. But this one, you can remove the pump, and it comes with an extra spout here that goes on here, and this little cap, which kind of goes on right here. But this will allow you to dump it out. So even though when I'm doing a full diesel engine oil change, I may have to stop, you know, 2/3 of the way through, dump this, and then rebuild the vacuum up, I'm still much more happy with the performance of this unit right here. It's very strong, very rugged, very stable. You can see you can just put it right on top the core support of the engine. You don't have to put it on the ground. So it's much easier to pump because you're not leaning over to pump up the vacuum in this. So I hope you enjoyed that shootout. I highly recommend that you do oil extraction on your own oil changes. You're going to love the way it works. The dog likes doing oil changes too.